Back to your phone calls in a moment here on Carson Anderson on 97.1. We teased that we would get into the Michigan State Spartans and their win over Mississippi State in a game that they kind of controlled from beginning to end. We were on the air and talking about a variety of other things. We figured people interested in the game are seeking out the game, but Spartans went 69-51. And one of the things that we had discussed prior to the game is whether or not their backcourt could play absolutely up to its potential. Guard play it's a cliche, but it's kind of true come March. And they really did play up to their potential. Tyson Walker, AJ Hogard, and Jaden Akins went, 4 for 7 for 16 from 3? A strong percentage. They had 10 assists and 5 turnovers combined. And it felt like Akins was the one that really stepped up, but they got that better backcourt play, which helped power them to this win.
Yeah, that's what they needed. We talk about their path to success, and it starts with guard play. If you get good guard play in a tournament, you got a chance. Night in, night out, you're getting such consistency from Tyson Walker. It's the other players that had to step up, and Jaden Akins had shown some flashes during the season, but nowhere near the consistency that makes you feel like he's taken a big step forward. The game yesterday, he took a nice step in the right direction. Back it up. Do it again tomorrow because they're going to need you. He was efficient with some he passed up some deeper shots to take a better shot, and he knocked those down. The block that he had was spectacular. The dunk that he had going baseline, that was great. A real nice effort from him. And then they had other guys. Hogard knocking down his three-point shot when he had to. That was big. Malik Carr chipping in with his points. It was just an all-around good effort from Michigan State, good enough to win the opening round, and they're going to have to be better because North Carolina is legit. Number 1 seed, one of the best players in the country, a couple of them, and it's not going to be easy.
So, you're looking for things. We always talk about crafting the path. How do you pull a game like that out? So Michigan State, they don't. On the scouting report, Michigan State's bigs probably aren't near the top of anybody's scouting report, but there's an abundance of them. And North Carolina isn't the biggest team, and one of their best players, and you mentioned Amando Baycott, he's a lot to handle. But Michigan State can throw a lot of physicality and a lot of fouls his way. If the whistle goes their way, they can really get physical with him. And if it doesn't go their way, at least they've got depth in the front court. So you can throw a Sissoko and a Cooper and
Kohler.
And just throw them all at him and say, all right, well, okay, so Kohler fouls out.
And?
Right? So you just try and make it as tough as you can on Baycott. I think they get physical with him and hope that they get a favorable whistle. And if they don't, okay, so guys are going to foul out. None of which seem particularly critical to taking Michigan State to that next level. But here's a stat. Did a little research because my instinct told me, and I haven't seen this anywhere. Forgive me if somebody else had it. But my instinct told me that Michigan State is really good on the back-to-backs. The Thursday, you win on Thursday, you play on Saturday. You win on Friday, you play on Sunday. You win on Saturday at the Final Four, you play on Monday. You got the quick turnaround. It's not like you don't do legwork on scouting your next opponent, but went back and went through the numbers real quick. Izzo on the second game of back-to-backs in the NCAA tournament is 24-7. And, that could be a product, a little bit of matchups, but what you got to consider is you are looking at good teams. So it's not like you get into March and the second game of the back-to-back was against Fairfield or somebody.
No, but I would imagine that a good portion of those games, Michigan State was the favorite in the second game because it'll happen opening weekend. And they've been in the tournament, whatever it is, 25 straight years. So they've typically had teams that are good teams. And this is not the norm for Michigan State to have a 9 seed, right? Normally it's 4 seed, 3 seed, 2 seed, 1 seed.
Yeah, I feel like lately they've been down there a little bit more, but it hasn't really seemed to slow them down. Last year, they won the back-to-back game. They beat USC. The back-to-back game was Marquette. Beat them. They're more likely to lose the first game of a weekend than they are the second game of a weekend.
That is probably factually true.
And typically, I mean, it stands to reason that the second game's against a better opponent, more so than the first game.